The Formula One season moves away from Mexico City and down to Sao Paulo. It's the Sao Paulo Grand Prix at Interlagos. Just 4 races remain in the opening 5 weeks then. Sao Paulo before the first ever race in Qatar, 2-week break before Saudi Arabia if the track is finished on time, and Abu Dhabi on the 10th to the 12th of December rounds out this incredible season that has been dominated by Max Verstappen in terms of victories. In the Drivers' Championship, Max Verstappen leads by 19 points. It's match point for him this weekend at Sao Paulo. Lewis Hamilton has to win in order to keep his championship hopes alive. Valtteri Bottas has moved ahead of Sergio Perez. Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc in a battle for McLaren-Ferrari supremacy as well sees Carlos Sainz 7th with Daniel Ricciardo 8th. Pierre Gasly 9th and Fernando Alonso rounds out the top 10. A staggering 252.5 points separate the top 10 in the standings. In the second page, it's Esteban Ocon on 46 points in a battle with Max Verstappen as well. Lance Stroll holding off Yuki Tsunoda. Russell is now separated between his teammate with Kimi Raikkonen getting points last time out in Mexico. Nicholas Latifi 17th. Giovinazzi the last driver with points. Still no points for Mick Schumacher or Nikita Mazepin, but of course Robert Kubica finishing 20th due to having a higher finishing position in the 2 races he did compared to Nikita Mazepin. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes leads the way by just a single point to Red Bull as well. It's closing up for Red Bull to try and do the double. Ferrari and McLaren locked in a battle over 3rd place as well. The battle for 5th and 6th still now exactly the same points between Alpine and AlphaTauri. Aston Martin in 7th, distant on their own. Williams securing 8th, Alfa Romeo 9th, and still no points on the board for Haas F1. It's time for the final hours running before the sprint race later today. It's time for free practice 2. Let's take a look at the Autodromo Juan Carlos Palos as well, a 2.677 mile circuit, 15 turns in total, commonly known as Interlagos. This fantastic circuit been on the calendar since the 1960s. On board with the Mercedes from 2021. Good acceleration out of the last corner. 8th gear, 335 kilometers an hour as you approach the braking zone for turns 1 and 2. The Senna S down. 3rd gear, 130. 5th gear, 220 as you round turn 3. The Curve de Sol. Down the Retroposta towards Casino de Laga. First DRS detection zone, then 8th gear, 335 kilometers an hour. Back on the brakes, slam down. 4th gear, 175. Back up through turn 5, 7th gear at 275. Up now to the top of the hill at Ferradura. Down now, 5th gear, 220 kilometers an hour to the braking zone to the first hairpin down at turn 8. Down now, 3rd gear, 120 kilometers an hour. Back on the power ever so gently as you rise up the hill towards Magullo at turn 10. 5th gear, 210 kilometers an hour as you ride through turn 11 before into turn 12 and the second checkpoint for sector 2. Juncao down now, 3rd gear, 130 kilometers an hour. Back up the hill through turn 13 before coming through the boxes corner at turn 14. 7th gear, 270 kilometers an hour. Open up the DRS once again. Back up 8th gear, 330 kilometers an hour. That is a lap of Interlagos. One of the most strangest, confusing and most difficult days for Formula One is upon us. In the past 12 hours, controversy has swept the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. This circuit has been host to many controversies over the years, so it's only right that it plays host to Chapter 19 of the Verstappen-Hamilton battle in 2021. 2 DRS zones around this 4.309 kilometre circuit, 15 turns as well. It's time for free practice number 2 before qualifying gets started for the sprint race later on today. Alonso, Webber and Massa in 2012 made drama down at turn 1 as well. Hülkenberg driving through. It was all caused by Bruno Senna though, crashing into the side of Sebastian Vettel. Senna getting launched 7 ways to Sunday. And then through as well, Magullo and Juncao in 2019. Norris trying to defend the inside line from Charles Leclerc, who sent it right round the outside at the exit of Juncao up through the Super de Boxes corners. Back to the 3-tyre compounds we know and love as well. The C4 soft, medium C3, the hard is the C2 tyre compound as well. Well, you know why we're all here. I'll tell you one thing, I was supposed to be joined in the commentary box by Megan Bird. She is busy, desperately trying to have access to things as well. Synthel was supposed to be back in the box as well for this session, but the Wi-Fi at the moment is playing havoc because we are all waiting to know what is going to happen next in this thrilling chapter. So I just have to turn one of the heaters down because it's burning my lead up here in the comms box. It is all sorts of drama at the moment, and this is why. Because yesterday, after the conclusion of qualifying, Red Bull, as from my understanding, reported Mercedes to the technical delegate Joe Bauer to say that their rear wing was illegal. Joe Bauer then tested the rear wing with an 85mm ball on the end of a stick that if it goes through the DRS open slot, if that 85mm stick goes through that slot, then it is deemed an illegal wing. We now know that Mercedes failed that test on Lewis Hamilton's car and that he was reported to the stewards for it. This went along on to last night up until the stewards said, that's it, we're not going to do any more for this evening, we'll reconvene in the morning. At the same time, images started circulating online, first from fans who were at the circuit who sent it, then from F1's official people as well, that after the conclusion of qualifying, Max Verstappen got out of his car, checked his own rear wing, and then went over to Lewis Hamilton's car and proceeded to physically touch the rear wing. Now, we've seen Sebastian Vettel do this in the past with no issues. The fact is that the investigation later came up between Lewis Hamilton and the rear wing was that now it is a big issue because Verstappen touched that wing and it's later gone on to be part of an investigation. There's now Mercedes desperately trying to say, well, Max Verstappen touched our wing, he broke our wing. We all know how stupid that sounds as well because, we all know how stupid that was because we know that nobody can break a rear wing just by pressing it. These things are still to withhold over 1,000 tons as well. And literally, you can stand on a front wing and it not break. We've seen that done in the past. So, Mercedes are officially saying that it was fine when we sent it out to the track. Something must have happened in between the two sessions as well. And we've now got video footage of Max Verstappen touching the back of the car. So it is all chaotic as anything at the moment. Our Wi-Fi running incredibly limited up here at the moment, so we don't even know the driver track is working. We're just hoping that this screen works because TweetDeck is taking up so much power as well just to see what is going to happen. So far, no news on the stewards. Now, late last night, to get back to it, just as the green light gets ready to go on, late last night, after the stewards had convened, as the green light goes on, the session is underway, what happened was, Max Verstappen was then called to the stewards for 9:30 in the morning. Of course, over there in Sao Paulo time, it was 12:30 here in the UK. Max Verstappen went to the stewards as well. We don't know the results of that, but Lewis Hamilton was then called back to the stewards as well. They only left the Mercedes team about 45 minutes ago after being in there for over an hour. So whatever's happening, we are surely going to get the news in this session. We're looking currently at the pit lane of the Mercedes, where 2 rear wings are currently fixed, but there's a crowd of photographers and journalists right on the outside of Lewis Hamilton's car because Lewis Hamilton has been given a special dispensation by the stewards to fit a new rear wing. The reason that that's a problem, even though this is a practice session, because yesterday we took part with qualifying number 1, it's an issue going forward because the cars have now gone into parc fermé. So any change to the car now means a pit lane start going forward. So it's all going a bit tense in the air. Nobody wants to go out there either. So it's all just nerves and tense actions as the driver tracker is working. So at least we have that for the time being, but I've got no access to anything else. I can't even launch Zoom, I can't launch Zoom, Discord, Messenger, anything. My watch is going off because it's connected to my phone. Phone's on data, trying to give me any information. We should say, though, happy 22nd birthday to Lando Norris as well, the young chap, my age now, of course. I turned 22 back in April, but now Lando Norris does the same here today as well. So happy birthday, Lando. Hope you have a fantastic day, and what a present as well, driving a Formula One car. So, I want all your opinions. The group chat is working as well. I want all your opinions in the YouTube chat right now. Who do you think is at fault? Is it Mercedes for giving Lewis Hamilton the wrong wing? Is Max Verstappen responsible for somehow damaging the wing as well? Are Red Bull hypocrites for throwing up the discussion that of rear wings between Hamilton after Red Bull had the flexi win earlier on this year as well, and Mercedes too? It is all up in the air right now, as everybody is waiting for news. This is going to be a very tense second practice session. Yeah, oh, it's your Wi-Fi. Yeah, literally, because we've got TweetDeck on, Wi-Fi's going mad, and every time the sprint race is on as well, if we have anybody on, it just confuses everything. So at least the driver track is working today. That's an improvement over sprint races we've seen at Silverstone and Monza, where the driver tracker never works. I currently have no live timing, however, up in the comments box. You have got more info on the timing screen here than anybody else, because at the moment I've only got a driver tracker, no access to live timing. It seems to have failed on me once again. It is just a mad, mad situation that you have to take part in, as I get given now finally a timing page, not the timing page, but a timing page to have a look at. The iPad's gone down as well. It's all going a bit iggledy-piggledy at the moment. I'm hoping. Is Vettel's radio going to work for us? Is Stroll's radio going to work?
Will be boxing this lap. Box, pit stop to a new set.
Okay, so we've got radio as Gasly goes off the track as well, and the radio's frozen on us. Yeah, he just keeps doing this. Okay. So let's go through then as it stands. So first of all, if you're joining us, welcome to the commentary. Welcome to what is either going to be called Winggate or Flapgate, depending on which it's going to be. We have an entire timeline of events. It all started in free practice one yesterday. Lewis Hamilton getting a 5-place grid penalties for his 5th internal combustion engine. Verstappen also had issues with his rear wing. In qualifying, Hamilton tops all 3 qualifying sessions. Verstappen has DRS issues in turn 1. Park Ferme touches as well. Let's hear from Christian Horner quickly. He's down with
That's down to the FIA, the policemen. They're the ones to adjudicate, the cars. The cars have to comply with the regs, and they do a good job of policing that.
And what about the future, obviously, with this sort of hanging over all of our heads at the moment? How will you play the game, let's say? If there isn't a penalty, for example, will there be sort of further things you might sort of do?
Well, the car has been reported as choice because it failed the test. And the test is quite clear. I think we all saw the video footage of the car failing the test, so I can't see how it could then be deemed to comply with the regs. So it's, again, fairly binary. It's either in or out. I remember, back to 2012, we had an issue with the front wing. It failed the test. We were kicked out. Had to start from the back of the grid. You have the right to appeal it, of course, as a team. We chose not to on that day, but still able to come through to P3.
So that's interesting. I wonder, that's live radio from Christian Horner there as well. That we're talking to Sky F1. We let that play for a while. This is going to be an interesting situation, isn't it? To see who exactly is going to have this problem. Everybody is waiting on the back now as well. The stewards are going to make their decision hopefully soon. Lewis Hamilton is nowhere near his car from going out on the track as far as we know, so they're all just sitting at the side there. Hopefully we're going to have something working in the next 20 minutes or so. I'm being told that the internet channel is being changed. It won't affect the router, but it won't affect the direct lead we've got to the computer in here, but it will affect our Wi-Fi. So hopefully in the next 20 minutes or so our internet connection will return to us. The MacBook and the computer run on Ethernet lead, but not on sprint weekends, because the MacBook then can't run on Ethernet lead because that's being used for a different monitor up in the box to keep an eye on the different sprint stuff. It's very confusing. I won't bore you with the tech details, but right now it's a bit impossible to do both. Raikkonen is top of this session, regardless of 1:15.381, followed by Giovinazzi, and then Mazepin, Schumacher, Stroll, and Vettel, the top 6, as things currently stands. So we're just
slow down.
So we've all seen footage of the Mercedes failing the test. Christian Horner just said on Sky F1. I don't think fans have seen the footage yet, so all good to see what's going to happen next as well. But let's just have a quick look to see what's going to happen next. Ian Birch joins me in the commentary box now as well because things are going desperately wrong with no Wi-Fi connectors. That's your headset there. I know we've got mics and headsets all around everywhere. But the situation's getting a bit too close for comfort at the moment. I told you, Dad, yesterday about all this news going off with Verstappen touching the rear wing as well, Mercedes being deemed illegal. It is literally kicking into one of the most controversial topics all season long.
I named it before they did.
Yeah, Wingate. You actually said it last night. Now, we know at the moment that Lewis Hamilton's got a special dispensation to the stewards going forward, but to change the rear
positive
wing.
on the brakes when you can.
What have
Got a decent
Mercedes
forward offset at the
admitted to?
Back to mode 12, mode 12.
I suppose. So Mercedes have admitted that the rear wing is illegal, but it wasn't illegal when he left for qualifying yesterday.
Yeah.
It's something that's happened in between the two sessions. So in between quali 2 and quali 3, something's happened out on the track. And of course, they can't work out what it is. So they're using the fact that Max Verstappen touched the wing as saying, like, he's done something to our car, he's touched our car.
Well, how do you know he didn't?
That's the point. But they are incredibly strong rear wings, but you can never say that he might not have done anything because you don't know. The FIA have now got to prove...
He might have done it by accident.
Yeah.
And once he's done it by accident, then he's stuffed, isn't he? You know, and they're on Operation Get Me Out of This.
FIA have now got to prove that Max Verstappen did nothing. There's the man who reported to the stewards, Joe Bauer, the FIA
Joe wanders around the pits all the time.
Speed, turn 6.
Right? He is the referee in the pit lane, and you know, he's very experienced, and he never noticed anything until Max told him.
No, Max and Red Bull told him and reported the car to the stewards, and then it's sort of backfired now, hasn't it, on Red Bull? Because Max got dragged in at 9:30 this morning. He was in there for 15 minutes, and then he was told to go wait outside. Jonathan Wheatley went with him as well at 9:30 to the stewards, and Jonathan stayed in there for another 10 minutes after Max left. He said, Max quoted as well, "I can't say anything at the moment. The situation's still ongoing." So that's what he said all those hours ago.
Yeah.
But now it's practice 2, and Verstappen hasn't gone out there. Hamilton hasn't gone out there. Bottas hasn't gone out there either. I can't see where Perez is. Perez is not out there, so he's left the track. But there are several. So I don't think
we'll be boxing this lap, Lance.
That's Stroll's radio.
You can back off now. Tyres are good. Back off.
I don't think we're going to see Verstappen and Hamilton out the track until this is sorted.
On an outlap.
So, we go back 15 years and 10 years and 5 years and 3 years. Someone's trying to pull a fast one, and someone else is trying to do something else. It's Formula One, isn't it?
Yeah, basically.
What? Who said if you're not pushing it to the limit, the rules to the limit, you're not trying hard enough?
Eddie Jordan, Ayrton Senna, all those people did it as well.
Yeah.
Senna did it more famously was if you no longer go for a gap, you're no longer a racing driver.
Nelson's idea and Nico's father's idea was if there's a gap, I'm going through it.
And at the moment as well, it's going wrong. Yeah, this is all going completely wrong at the moment. As Christian Horner says, there's so many precedents that he would be amazed if Verstappen is penalised for touching Hamilton's cars. That's what Christian Horner said after it. As Perez is going to top the session, the only real competitive driver out there at the moment, and he does a 1:13.359. So let's look at it from both angles. Let's say that Hamilton's car was legal when he went out for Q3. Something happened on the run, and Verstappen has made the problem worse.
Synthel says it was just a little touch from Max. I haven't seen it, but you said it was more than that.
It was more than a little touch, that's for sure as well. I think
I've Dutch TV shown this, Synthel.
No, Sky showed it.
Have you got it on your phone?
I have, and I was trying to get it on the screen as well to show it, but the Wi-Fi is being so bad.
When you're in a thing for a world championship, I suppose that you do daft things.
Where is it?
Right toggle is available for stabilizing 6-7 if you need it.
That's the wrong one.
Get the right one, Joe.
Here's Max. So there's Max, look. And I'll get this on the screen in just a second, hopefully, as well. There's Max Verstappen, walks over look, here we go. So, let's just get it on the screen, otherwise we're going to be talking to it all there. Let's put it on there.
Okay.
I'll try, but the Wi-Fi is being incredibly bad. And as you know, as Verstappen's heading out onto the track, he's
I've
doing a
just
practice
moved the
start.
Wi-Fi router.
Oh, so that should make it a bit better. Right, let's see if I can get this over. Because you have to use Wi-Fi to send things from your phone to your laptop. Oh, it's just detecting and it hasn't actually signaled on yet. Our routers are annoying. We can stream to you quite well because that's being done via Ethernet cable, but the actual Wi-Fi, it's potluck. You have to stand right at the side of your house with a pan on top of your head and your phone up there with your left leg raised above, and then maybe you'll get a signal.
I'll tell you what, we'll demolish the West Wing.
Yeah, that'll do it. Right, okay, Wi-Fi is back. So let's just see if this has worked.
This is the West Wing.
Straight through, starting pit exit, 2 burnouts. First
That's
gear
Ricardo. Okay, so here we go then. Think this might work. Hope it's going to work. It is going to work. Fantastic. So let's drag this over now to the screen. And I want to show you this later, but this is Max Verstappen. This is taken from a fan footage, so we can use it on the broadcast.
But that's Bauer there touching the car.
No, that's not Joe Bauer. So watch for Max Verstappen. Here look, Max Verstappen just on the bottom there where the Red Bull is.
Oh, yeah.
And let's take a watch. So let's watch it now. This is in coming through. So he walks over, checks his own rear wing, look, because he had an issue with it on his last one in qualifying where it didn't shut properly into turn 1. So he presses both sides of it just to see what's going on. And then you'll see now, look, he'll walk over to Lewis Hamilton's car and does exactly the same thing. Now, that is what Mercedes are saying, that Verstappen has caused the problem. Verstappen's the one who's done it.
Okay, Pierre, let's consider going up on the tours already.
I agree with Synthel that it wasn't much of a touch, but, you know, if you've got a different footage of it from the...
Yeah.
There is 2 FIA cameras in that area.
Yeah, the security
and
cameras.
the stewards will have these cameras to look at. So, but there would have been a decision by now. It looks like it's one of those "who do you believe" situations, and I agree with Synthel. It didn't look as bad as what has been said, but you know these things are delicate.
The last, this is the last chat message we've got from the group. Which it's just come through. Oh, I think it's working. Going great because Synthel's just put. But in that case, the Red Bull rear wing should be too wide as well. Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, he sent it on Instagram as well. Thanks. We're trying to get Synthel on as well for later on in the session, but everything's a bit temperamental at the moment, so we're trying our best. But everything's going wrong as it usually does on a sprint weekend. It's just a miracle we've got certain things working. This is George Russell coming through into the last couple of corners. He's locked up coming into the Bico de Pato corner. 5th gear, usually, over 210 kilometres an hour. Might be a bit less on that one. So we've got our chat back, so that's working. I think TweetDeck's now stalled. That's just starting. It's like we can either have one or the other. TweetDeck is taking up so much power of the MacBook CPU at the moment that it's just logging everything else down as well. So let's just keep our fingers crossed. So as soon as we know, as Lewis Hamilton was wandering around the back of the garage, look, he's got his helmet on, but I don't think he's going to get in the car just yet. I think he wants to know if he's got a penalty or not, as Ocon goes P2. So as soon as we know what the steward's decision is, I can switch TweetDeck off as well and get everybody back on the programme. Don't forget also, we've got the sprint race coming up later on. That's at 7:10 British Summer Time. I think start as well. You said you had TweetDeck open, right? I'll do my pit reports.
We're catching Schumacher quite quick.
Yeah, do that. Yeah, I've got TweetDeck open, so do that, Josh. And I can see. Hello to Adam says, hello, Josh and Ian. Enjoy an F1 action. Hello, Adam. I'll be on with Adam as well at 5 o'clock British Summer Time on the Grid Network. Lewis Hamilton is getting into his car now. So after 15 minutes of pottering around the back of the garage, Hamilton is in the car.
Do we think we have a result?
It's possible. They wouldn't risk going out on the track and breaking Parc Fermé, even with that exception, because a team could protest and say, why have you let them go out if we've got a damaged wing?
Yeah, usually, you know, when you've got these sort of situations, you make sure your own car isn't breaking some rules as well.
Yeah, because then you can just immediately go bang and then say, look, our car's perfectly fine, but your car's got a problem. Verstappen goes top, 1.117 quicker than Perez. He's gone out there immediately on it, 1:12.10 2 at the moment, so that's getting through. Josh says hopefully we can do normal like last weekend with voice. That should hopefully be better as soon as we switch the Wi-Fi on and off again, but we've been running all day with MotoGP and then come straight into the Formula 1. We've got a 3-hour gap before the sprint race where I'm going to fiddle with the Wi-Fi and see if I can get it working properly again, because even our driver track is not working in terms of data properly. Martin's out of the Senna S's down at turns 1 and 2 at the... Oh, no, oh, okay, it's Paul Di Resta. Where's Martin then? Usually it's not Paul, it's Martin out there, but he is out there as well as he comes through. My phone is literally going a mile a minute now as well. Reminder that I'm not going to be in communication later on this evening. If anybody's watching and needs to send me a message, I will not see it. I'm out as soon as the F1 sprint is over as well. Yeah, or it could either be today or tomorrow. I mean, the sprint race if we can get it sorted. But it's getting the Discord working, which is the problem. Because Zoom will not last the whole race, you see. Zoom only lasts 40 minutes.
I
plus
come in
extra
for
20.
lap adjust or you are
So
there?
it's finding the right software.
4.3 down.
Keep confirm and box.
Yeah, it's finding the right software that works. So already going a bit crazy. Cars are out on the track though. Verstappen's the top. The two Mercedes have yet to leave the pit lane. Hamilton 19th with Bottas in 20th place as well. Megan's been in here and she's moved around my monitors.
The previous sprint weekend practice twos have been chaotic. And
yeah, they have.
So I'm not expecting to read anything from this.
No, it's we're mainly going to be seeing the sprint race later is going to be quite interesting, especially if Hamilton has to start at the back. Maybe this one will be the one we all love.
Of course, if you wreck your car now, you're going to be in trouble for the sprint race.
I have literally, I can see your messages there, Josh, as well. So do that, or put them in the chat as well. I can read them out. Hopefully, we get voice back later. If not, then we'll have to just do a WhatsApp.
Are we boxing this lap? We're boxing this lap, but keep pushing, so you can stay and go push.
That's Russell on the radio as well. Russell was mystified as to why he didn't get through to qualifying 2 yesterday and why he was eliminated in Q1, but literally all comes through as well. Cynthia says, by the way, I've literally drawn the track on a whiteboard with coordinates just in case. But I've got a paper where I do all the data on as well, but I cannot pronounce turn 15 that Cynthia's just put in the chat there as well. I can't pronounce it. It's I had it as well. It's it's like say bananas. It's aquibanacatas. I can't do it.
Banacas?
Aquabanacas. That could be it. Megan would be like that.
Aquabanacas.
With it being Portuguese, she'll be like that with it. So Megan
Why
will have
she
the info
speaks
later.
Spanish? She doesn't speak Portuguese.
Yeah, but she does a good Portuguese.
She's Russian.
Yeah, she does a fantastic fake Russian accent as well. That I honestly think people sometimes don't believe that she's English. But still, keep on going.
And you try second gear, turn 8 and 9, please. Second gear, 8 and 9.
It's 1-1 in the town game. Just watching there. Look on the monitor.
Don't.
Why? Every time I read them out, they go wrong.
No.
Science says it feels like you added zero balance. Oh, added aero balance. Sorry.
You dragged me in here when I was getting ready to listen to my program. I'm doing the rest of the things for you.
Yes.
You know, not the actual.
Oh, what's this?
Here.
What's this from one of the pit reporters? Mercedes reports that Lewis Hamilton's wing in these Libras 2 is a different one, in this FP2, is a different one than verified yesterday, which is still in possession of the FIA, but the same specification. For this, they obtained permission from the FIA and work in the closed part of Emirates. That's from Naomi, who's I want to say, Movistar presenter as well. But we've still got no information about anything.
Okay, final lap, please, Max. Final lap.
Yeah, we've still got zero information about anything. But look at this. Lewis Hamilton is leaving the pit lane with a different rear wing than what he qualified with.
Go on, Lewis, go.
So is this Lewis Hamilton now that he's not going to be disqualified for the whole weekend, as we thought was going to happen? But this could be interesting. I don't know how to help you over chat, love. Lewis, Charles Leclerc's lap time deleted turn 4. Just send your messages in.
Do you know, if they weren't the top two in the championship, there would have been a decision already.
Oh, yeah, this would not be going on.
Because,
If this was Haas,
you know,
last night.
both of them have been chucked out of today's, and, have to start from the pit lane tomorrow.
Cynthia's put the translation in there, as I put there on the chat now because it works, means tribunes, by the way. Oh, well, I'll just call it Tribunes then, the last corner. I'll call it Tribunes. I'm going to put that on my track map, actually. Just call it Tribunes.
Yeah, we need a tribune here.
That's Raikkonen.
Copy.
I think we need more than that. I think we need judge, jury, and executioner. Formula One fans get hold of this as well. Nothing at the moment is happening. Lando Norris, though, out there, 22 now, born the 13th of the 11th, 1999. And it's his 22nd birthday today as well, which does mean I'm older than Lando Norris, which I said to Megan, I think, during the red flag phase at the Grand Prix in Belgium earlier on. So we've only got Verstappen.
I'm older than Martin Brundle. Am I?
No, Martin's 61. No,
I'm
how old is
younger
Brundle?
than him then.
How old is Brundle? I swear he's older.
I like that shot, actually.
On board with the McLaren?
Yeah, the Lando shot is on the side of the car.
Martin John Brundle.
Gives a wider, you know.
Martin John Brundle is 62 years old, born the 1st of June 1959.
Oh, he's a lot older than me then.
Yeah.
Clutch position on target.
Getting messages coming through now as well about where we're eating this evening after that. Literally, look. I'm literally just getting messages now coming through of where we're eating. I'm not eating yet. Horner would be amazed if Verstappen got a penalty for touching Hamilton's rear wing. That's from Luke Smith, who is the autosports journalist. Not having anything right now. Chris Metland as well is.
It is against the rules.
Everything there. Yeah, you're not allowed to touch it. Seb
used to do it all the time.
And then the rule wasn't just saying that you can't do it
but
anymore.
There's a difference between touching and looking and moving. Yeah. And the allegation is that he moved the wing and broke it.
Which would mean, and also because
and to be honest, it didn't look like he did.
He didn't, but it's because he touched it, and the wing's now been impounded for being possibly illegal. Mercedes have found a loophole. So basically, as I said to you this morning, Red Bull have reported Mercedes for an illegal rear wing, and then they've gone and put their
So
foot.
we're thinking of 4 more laps on this one, 4 more full-time laps. The rears are very hot now.
Yes.
So 10-11. Try opening the entry just to reduce sliding on the exit of 10-11.
Yeah, so they've put their foot in the trap of reporting them to the stewards as well, even though their own rear wing was flexing down towards turn 1. But then they've only gone and taken their foot out of the bear trap when their rear wing was declared legal, and now they've got to put their head in because Verstappen might have given them a way out.
The team, so it looks like rear tyres overheating.
So that was it.
Bottas being told the rear tyres are overheating. So yeah, it looks like Red Bull have put their head in the bear trap because the very thing that they reported to the stewards with Hamilton's rear illegal wing is now could be they can get off because Verstappen touched it. You just don't know what to say, do you?
Who scored first? Us or them?
Give me a sec. Well, that's what you say, don't you? Josh is saying as well, 38 minutes to go. Verstappen fastest, 1:12.102. Ocon second, 1:13.006. Perez third, 1:13.219. Josh in the pit lane for us. Hopefully we'll have him back up and running soon as the sprint weekend format software adjusts itself. Because it's a different software we use for the sprint weekends to keep up with the adjusted times. Because usually we go from FP1, 2, 3 qualifying race. But it doesn't like it when we have FP1, then jump to the 3 segments of qualifying, then go back to practice, and then have a different format with a different lap counter, and then we switch back over. It just crashes. And I'm amazed they've actually fixed the driver tracker, because usually if you look back at Silverstone and Monza, we never had the driver tracker until the race. And even in Monza, we didn't have it until after Verstappen and Hamilton crashed. So it's up there as well. Wi-Fi update. We've still got TweetDeck open, so nothing's working on the laptop, which is what we use to get the thing up as well. Even the download also of qualifying that I need just does not work at all at the moment. And why did I say that?
Box. Copy. Watch out, white line, pit limiter.
So that's been told to watch the pit lane limiter as well. Katie Fairman, who's chief editor at WTF1, says, I don't know what's more annoying, waiting for an update from the FIA or that alarm in the pit lane that keeps going off.
Oh, yeah. Do you know that it's just a speaker that has been had like a thing put on the back of it so it can be hung up on a hook that sticks out the thing. It's not even fixed to the wall.
No, it's
I'm waiting for it to fall on someone. Actually, it's a terrible thing.
They've been the worst
it
one.
Does not show. It doesn't show Formula One in the light that people think it is. You know, when you got things like that. But that's Formula One. If you ever see a car really close up, it doesn't look as brilliant as it does on there.
Doesn't. I'll tell you one thing as well. The worst pit lane noise going through is the one in Albert Park, because it literally goes... Bing, 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 bing.
Okay, how's the tyre? How's the dig?
And Schumacher.
Good. It was just about lucky that it's annoying. And a bit more to see compared to before.
Literally nothing at the moment coming through about Lewis Hamilton. Surely we cannot go to the sprint race before we get the penalty.
I think this is going to Paris.
But, so, hang on a second. What does this mean? Because if Hamilton starts on pole for the sprint race, wins the sprint race, then only starts 6th on the grid, because he has got a 5-place grid penalty anyway. So he starts 6th on the grid tomorrow, and then wins the race tomorrow. What on earth is that going to do? Red Bull are going to go potty.
One cow.
Jean Cow. It's the last corner. Turn 12. The exit.
It's one cow, isn't it?
Synthil says
it's Spanish,
it's pronounced.
It's one cow, isn't it?
Synthil says it's pronounced with a CH not a K. So it's Zheng Xiao. Zheng Xiao.
The launch, we may be close to Sebastian on pit exit. We can go white button and plus 5 straight away. White button and plus 5.
It's number 36 on
Caution
the Chinese
Vettel
takeaway.
pit exit. Caution Vettel pit exit. White button on.
Oh, Chinese. That's where I should text them to eat tonight. I'll probably get booed by it now as well. Apparently it's the counting house. What is the counting house?
It's a pub, isn't it? Like, isn't it down Seaview Street?
Should be. I'm not too sure. Oh, yeah, that could be interesting. Find out where we're going later. As they come through as well.
Your mum's home.
Oh, I can hear the car, yeah.
Why hasn't she told me she's got an oil leak that bad?
Oh, you saw that too. Good. I'm glad I wasn't just the only one. I thought I was going a bit potty. Going through, still no word from the FIA yet at the moment. So you pronounce it as Crofty says. I'm not doing that.
Right. I'm going to go for a moment. I'll be back.
All right. Thank you. Off you go. So Senna flag. As Adam says, love the Senna flag in the background. So do I. Look at that. Let's go full camera actually for a second. Yeah, look at that. The Senna flag in the background. It's actually still a normal flag. It's held up. I don't know if you can see it, but it's held up by pegs at the moment because it's got a large stick at the end here. And I've got to take this down for the MotoGP tomorrow and put it back up for the F1 main race. So that's going to be a nightmare to get all that sorted before the timer starts as well. And hopefully we might have our Wi-Fi back soon as well if that has been completed. Joshua Rose says, do you think Hamilton will get disqualified? I mean, it's a pretty slam dunk situation. I think he is going to, unfortunately, because regardless if Verstappen touched the wing and it was a problem, he ran in that final part of qualifying with an illegal rear wing. If they can prove it was damaged in Parc Fermé, then he'll get away with it. But as it stands, it's an illegal rear wing and it's a slam dunk that he'll get disqualified and has to start the sprint and the main race from the pit lane. Now, from what I understand, we're trying to get clarification on this. He'll have to start the sprint race from the pit lane, but we don't know if... That's Hamilton.
Valtteri's just started his run. He's a 14.1, but less management.
Yeah, we don't actually know if he has to start the main race in the pit lane either, or just the sprint race, because it's a qualifying session. But because it's qualifying, it's not the race. So it's getting confusing where we're going through there. I thought it was Sunday because I kept refreshing your channel page ready for the MotoGP stream to pop up. No, it's Saturday today, Josh. It's Saturday. Tomorrow is Sunday, and the MotoGP stream is going to be posted in the morning, ready to go as well. So just stand by for that. Synthil spot. So that means he'll have to start from the back of the grid in the sprint. Has only 24 laps, around 30 minutes to overtake as many cars as possible, only to be dropped back another 5 places. I'm confused. I think we all are. This is why it's taking so long, I believe, because nobody actually knows what the official penalty is going to be. So it's just taking ages to get it sorted. My personal opinion, at the end of this, if he doesn't get disqualified, this could be that they both get a reprimand, or both Verstappen and Hamilton start at the back of the grid, because Verstappen has broken the rule by touching the car in Parc Fermé. So it's getting closer. Oh, Mercedes, I think I've just done an update. Okay, Mercedes have just updated us, and this is coming in live. Update. With the rear of the car 44 still impounded by the FIA, the team has been given a written permission to fit a replacement part to the W12 as well. The part has to be the same design as per Article 34.2 of the sporting regulations. That's all Mercedes have given us there as well. So no idea where else this is coming through. But this is going to be difficult, as we see, with 28 minutes of the session to go. I'm hoping we've got Wi-Fi back in a couple of moments' time, and then we can get Synthel on for the commentary, because I can just about sort that, I believe, if it will work, because there's a possibility it doesn't. I mean, yesterday I got... Oh, why am I not talking? You can't hear that yet. There we go. I can't... I thought you were going to hear that as well. So, as we see... hopefully, you couldn't hear that radio. I apologise for that because I can't replay it. But as I'm currently understanding as well, Zoom might not work, which is even worse. Teams does, though, so I'll have to set that up. Zoom cuts you off after a little bit anyway, and usually it plays havoc, but it's great because you don't get the second box of us in the way. So that's annoying, trying to get that sorted as well. Sprint weekends are always tricky as well. Might have to just say no, might have to say just do it as normal and then get back for everybody for Qatar in a week's time when everything's back to normal and the system works. So I'll try my hardest tomorrow morning before the MotoGP, but I'll be busy working. So if I can't get anybody on this weekend, I do apologise. It's this software that we use. Sometimes it has limitations that we can't control.
14.9. Losses at turn 2 and entry turn 4.
See that every screen in here has a purpose, and because we add people on, it takes away a screen for us. So it's quite hard getting everything else sorted. And I can just about do it on normal weekends because I can flick between the two. But on sprint weekends, because everything seems to go glitchy, because it's not the normal thing. I've noticed this. You look back on our coverage of the British Grand Prix, and especially the Italian Grand Prix, where we had no driver tracker. It all goes glitchy. Yesterday, our iPad glitched with the radios. It's working now. But it's just so temperamental. So if I can't get anybody on this weekend, I do apologise. Blame the software. I'll have everybody on in a session of their own coming through for Qatar. So we've got 3 sessions in Qatar. So FP1 and FP2 and FP3, I can have people on the commentary as well. And hopefully, the last couple of races, however, in Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi, I'm hoping to get some F1 journalists back on the stream as well. And I do want Ed on for a commentary as well, because it's unfair to just leave him out since Spa. So hopefully Ed will be on at some point as well. But 26 minutes to go. We are still waiting to see what this Lewis Hamilton situation is going to be. We've got several cars out on the track. A couple in the pit lane. That's Ocon, Gasly, Latifi, Leclerc, Alonso, Sainz, Giovinazzi, Norris, Ricciardo and Mazepin are the drivers in the pit lane at the moment. George Russell is 6th fastest at the moment. He's done a 1:14.022 as the fastest time. And nope, still no news. I can't believe we're going to go through the entire practice and not have a decision via the stewards. Are we going to be waiting around until the sprint race? Now, the grid for the sprint race has got to be given at least half an hour before the start. So when we go on air for the
so we think you'll need more rear tyre management,
Yeah.
So turns 6, 7 and 11.
When we go on air for the sprint race pre-show, that could still be the factor that we don't know who the grid is. So stay with us here on YouTube. It's going to be a crazy one as they've gone through. And I'm just having a quick look because there's still no news, but I just saw an information come up on the YouTube comment section as well. Not the YouTube comments, the TweetDeck comment section as well. That's working. I'm actually amazed some of the software is actually working, considering how hard we've pushed it today. And I now know why it's going quicker. That's great. Because the download has finally completed itself, so that's given a little bit more room back. But TweetDeck's still busy. A lot of work going on the back of one of the Ferraris here, Charles Leclerc in the pit lane, so I wonder what's going to happen there. We'll hear, the Synthel says as well, we'll hear Lewis will start from the back of the grid for the sprint.
You were on target.
Qatar,
there was some wheel spin, but your release timing was good.
As well. Norris on the radio, so we probably will get the decision finally when he comes back to us back in the next races. No decision yet, nothing. They've literally just left us. We know actually that Alex Albon is talking with Christian Horner at the moment, so that is interesting. We've got that from the radio. All the news that has been in this hour is the fact that Christian Horner would be amazed if Verstappen got a penalty for touching the car, but he might do. He might get a reprimand. He might get a 5-place grid penalty. I think worse to give him a reprimand, because I can't see why it would be a problem, unless this is all because Verstappen has actually broke it. Oh, Synthol has put a comment in saying, someone in my Discord just told me it seems the rear wing is now being tested further by the FIA. At least the German commentators said it. Okay, so that's Sky Germany who have said it. So what is going on with that wing? It's the same wing that ran in Mexico, that runs here. Same spec as well. So what on earth is going on? Yeah, I've just seen that on Twitter as well. So what on earth is happening as Ricciardo jumps to P7, 113.753?
Speculation, that's what's happening, because nobody actually knows.
Is it the question, do the FIA actually know what they're doing? Are they having to test it to see if Verstappen didn't break it? This must be like doing an autopsy, but in reverse. They've got to put the wing back exactly how it was and then try and break it in the same way. It's ridiculous. I've never seen a situation. I'm trying to think back as to when we've last seen something like this, and I don't think we ever have in the history of Formula One.
Josh says there's got to be a penalty for it. For which one?
Yeah, for which? For the wing?
team,
yeah.
For the driver, or for Verstappen, or
how's the low-speed balance?
Yeah, it's quite on this kitty.
That's Perez's radio.
Torque 6, torque 6.
Yeah, let's not get this confused as well, that we've got, if you look at the standings here, we've got Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen separated by 19 points, but Mercedes are only a point in front of Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship, so that could still play a factor. FIA give us a statement, an update, a result, anything. They just say silent, silent for FFF.
Should have gone to Specsavers, Josh.
Yeah, and I think I need new glasses. I keep saying I need new glasses. Coming through as well. Half hour's time, by the way. You can. Oh no, that's Grid Network pre-race show for the IMSA. Don't think that's with me on it though, because that would be wrong time. Ted's down at Ferrari though. I wonder what he's saying.
Yeah, so what are these wing tests, and how do the FIA actually check these gaps between wings? Well, when the rear wing and the front wing for that matter, when it's shut, it's very easy.
Suggest brake balance plus 2 clicks. Brake balance plus 2.
It's 1 centimetre roller. And I've been trying to ask some teams if I can go up to their rear wings in the middle of a practice session and do it. They've understandably said thank you, but no. But I'm not going to touch the Ferrari rear.
So what's Ted doing here then?
You can imagine the idea. If that's a 1 centimetre slot, it's very easy for them just to roll that in between the gap and just check that it doesn't go through, which would indicate that gap isn't more, certainly on the rear wing, than 1 centimetre. So that's that. But then how do they measure the 85 millimetres, the 8.5
It's got a bigger ball on it.
I hear you
on a longer stick. Ted's got it.
Device. This is 85 millimetres across. Now, it's not enough.
It's a circle of 85 millimetres across.
Through, which of course would be more than 85 millimetres, or whether it doesn't go through the gap, which would be 85 or less, because they have to do it with a little bit of force. And that's why we've got here, if I just reset it or zero it, a Newton meter.
Right.
So it's at 10 Newton meters, which is, in layman's terms, a bit of a push, a little bit of a shove. So you can see if you imagine this is with the rear wing flap
So Ted's
open,
explaining right now on Sky what's going on.
With the DRS flap open. Can you imagine that, Rachel, at home?
I can. You're demonstrating it beautifully.
That seems about right, doesn't it, as we view it from the onboard cameras. Obviously, if it's more than 85 millimeters, then this little silver roundel of doom would go through very easily. But if it's 85 or less, clearly it would go through it, and it wouldn't be. Oh no, they've moved.
Oh no, he's stopping
it. Through. There we go. It wouldn't be able to go through.
At least he's not breaking his kids' pencils in half.
Yeah, this time.
His crayons.
There you go. So it wouldn't be able to go through. Now, of course, wings are flexible. That's where the Newton meter
the
test
DRS
comes
opens,
in. So if you just come back and see the figures on here, it has to withstand up to 10 Newton meters, which is a bit of a push.
He's on 2. He can't push it. Okay, so Ted's demonstrating exactly how to do it, but Alonso's gone top on a 111.238 to get Megan.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm pushing fairly hard, and that silver disc needs to not be able to go through that gap at 10 Newton meters of pressure, of force. from my hand. So I'm trying quite hard to push it through. There you go. I've gone to 14 now, 15, and it's gone through.
Right. Okay, so that's what's happening with Ted then. But Fernando Alonso has just gone fastest in this practice session, a 1:11.238. So Alonso is currently the fastest driver. Now let's just send this photo to Megan and see how quick she can get to the commentary box for that factor as well. That's a great job.
She
there
won't
for
get here at all because she's quite adamant she's doing her work.
I don't know if you heard that sound when I took off. I didn't, but we were checking. That's a mess of a knock-on.
What, the clang?
Yeah, it looked like a clang, didn't it? As they come back through.
Alonso went purple in Sector 1. That's what Casintel's going on about because Megan loves Fernando Alonso.
Yeah, as saw that. So that's out there as well. Trying to get this working as well. We're send that now. I'm on data, so that should work. On
affirmative, Captain.
On hopefully data. But even Josh Pace is Alonso. Pole for Alonso, but not. It's FP2. Not
it's making mockery of this because.
Oh, great! He has to
practice 2 on a sprint weekend is a mockery.
I'm surprised my data's working. I've got to change the monthly thing soon to from pay monthly to sim only. But that's an interesting one. Let's see what Megan says. She'll have to come here unless she calls. As they come through. So Alonso top, Verstappen second, Ocon third, Perez fourth, Giovinazzi fifth. Great job there from the two Alfa Romeos as they come through. So time. Let's hear from Pierre Gasly. Actually, he's on the radio.
Laps before we achieve the sustained rear tires.
Oh, actually, throughout all that as well. I'm not on the tweet deck, so I need to click that back open because I was checking the YouTube. No, okay, looks all good so far. So no action between them. I can't believe it. So Hamilton's down in 18th place. He's just circulating, doing some laps. He's not actually performing anything. Neither of the two Ferraris. It's a useless FP2. This FP2 has sort of been hyped up by the fact that it's all going forward that we're waiting for this penalty that's going to come for either Verstappen or Hamilton.
Yeah, well, I just think they should sort this out as quickly as possible. And if you're going to have this sort of situation, don't announce it.
Yeah.
Midnight last night.
Well, it went on a bit longer, didn't
because it means that Josh was late up this morning. He also kept us up by knocking on our door and going, I don't know what happened.
Well, it was a long night. I'm not looking.
How's the balance so far?
I'm not looking forward to the fact that. I'm not looking forward to the fact that I've got to be up at 7:40 tomorrow and I'm out late as well, so that could be interesting. But yeah, with the MotoGP warm-ups, I'll take my eyes open.
Was it Silverstone where Alonso was top of the chart on P2?
Yeah. Alonso top FP. Alonso top 2.
FP2
at Silverstone. Yeah, Megan went nuts, didn't she?
Yeah.
So Alonso's looking okay. I understand that Martin Brundle is actually waiting with the FIA, so that's where he is at the moment.
That's why PDR's there.
Yeah, so Martin's busy doing elsewhere, and also it's a bit unfair to put Martin to work when he's got to call the sprint race later on today and the race tomorrow.
If you notice on some of the shots of in the pit lane area, right? You notice these cameras all over the place. There's going to be cameras that show what happened.
Daniel,
Definitely.
if you want to try less front wing,
there's a lot of TV units that are around that area as well. They must have about 10 different camera angles.
I think they've got a couple, but not identical. What the hell's going on here?
I know there's probably a freeze on showing it. If any of the companies have got the footage, there'll be a freeze on showing it until the decision is made.
Sky's shown what happened with Vettel. With Verstappen. They've shown something there as well.
Yeah, but they've only shown from a distance, haven't they?
What, sorry?
Did they only show from a distance?
They got one where it was zoomed in a bit, but it was too blurry to see. There's no actual footage completely in shot. The one that I put on here on YouTube, which came from one of the fans out there, Federico Montero, on Twitter at FRD182, who put that image on last night as well.
Norris lap time
that's
in
the
medium,
closest to the clearest we can see.
It's a storm in a teacup.
Hashtag spot the lyric. Raikkonen on the time. 40 minutes to go of the session. Alonso still fastest. Oh, and what? Who on earth is BOR? Car 10, that's who is what on earth? Car 10 BOR lap time deleted for track limits at turn 4. I'm genuinely confused right now because we don't have a BOR. I'm trying to think who number 10 is.
We used to have a BOR years ago.
One Gasly's number 10, isn't he? What on earth is happening there? No, Gasly's 11. Who's number 10? Where on earth is that team? I'm screenshotting now.
It's not Boris, is it?
Boris Johnson at number 10 gets a lap time deleted for track limits. It's Boris. You're right, it's Boris. I never knew that. Look, even Synthel's putting, who's BOR?
And again.
And Ocon 5 seconds behind.
He's seeing the same there. That's good. It's not just
6
my
lap
side.
softs.
Race control, car 10. Do we even have a car 10? I've not got the entry list, which gives me the numbers. I've just got the... Because I didn't need one. Ah, here we go. I'm looking.
Maybe it's
Gasly, yeah, car 10 Gasly.
I was going to say, maybe it's one of the Porsches still on track.
Yeah, car 10 in Formula 1 is Pierre Gasly. So, yeah, car 10, BOR, lap time, it's Gasly. Yeah, you're right, Synthol, it's Gasly. I've just remembered. Actually, I could have looked at my own page notes, which gives me the driver's numbers. I forgot I put them alongside. Yeah, car 10, Pierre Gasly. So they've got it wrong, the name wrong, in the stewards.
Or maybe that's just the name that the stewards have for him.
Boring. Yeah, I knew you were going with that one.
I don't find him boring. I think he's quite a, jovial lad.
I think he's one of the greatest drivers we've got at the moment.
He's not Sonoda, who makes you laugh just by looking at him as he goes and tries to talk while he's eating about 3 burritos.
Honestly, Yuki Tsunoda, as you said earlier on this year, he walks into each and every food compound and just eats everything.
Yeah, he likes to try other people's food. And
yes. I think I'm feeling we'll get along well.
His main dish is obviously Japanese, but he does try everything.
21
Do you remember the Irish stew that McLaren had?
I remember Eddie Irvine.
That was really good. That was. Sure enough, my name is Eddie.
The spare steward who used to be the fake Charlie Whiting, of course, before he died. The spare steward is an avid fan of Formula 1 from Canada. Great fan of Charlie Whiting as well. Charlie even met him a number of times. He says the delay in ruling is concerning. While we don't have access to all the facts, this seems like a fairly straightforward technical ruling. The tech regs are binary. You either comply or you don't.
8 to go. Start to manage the tyres, please.
It also takes the thing off the fact that we're not talking about the fact that Sainz and Leclerc are doing it really well this weekend, and we always thought they would because of the things.
Synthel's track that he's drawn. He's just sent it to me as well. So it's going on the main camera. There we go. If it focuses, please let it focus. Not focusing.
The McLarens are a bit further back, aren't they?
Yes, came up earlier with Car 9 GIA, did it? Oh, we all keep an eye on it, Josh. So it came up as Car 9 GIA. What on earth? I tell you what, the stewards are too busy with
trying to deal with everything else.
So that's
actually, the stewards are dealing with the main complaint, and their kids are actually operating the things.
This is Gasly going off the track at
Daddy,
turn 4.
How do you spell Gasly? B-O-R. Done it.
Ugh. Everyone's going off the track now as well. Charles Leclerc there, just called René Artois now, according to the data.
So René Artois. We'll have a start from into pit lane.
What was that? What was that? That was Hamilton. What? What was that from Hamilton?
So you're all clear behind. We'll have a start from into pit lane.
That's Bono telling Hamilton we're going to try a start from the pit lane.
Well, just in case. You know.
Sending my heart racing to say that he's just told him in the middle of a session. I bet that's why we haven't had a decision in this session, because they've stopped working on it in case they have to do stuff in here. So that's an interesting one. Adam says as well, hopefully we'll hear something soon from the FIA. Hating to wait about the situation between Lewis and Max, and then ball goes wide. Yeah, says Cynthia as well. Gasly is now ball as well. In fact, Twitter's picked up on that. Twitter's picked up on that as well. Yeah, Giovinazzi. One of 3 drivers to finish every race this season, along with Ricciardo and Sainz. But
I always say, I get so criticised for saying the fact that Giovinazzi is a lot better than people give him credit for. He's a consistent driver.
Oh, yeah.
So Max's last lap of 13.3.
He's only scored 1 point this year, but he has actually
finished every
race. Yeah, and he's been 11th for the past 3 races in a row. Gasly, I don't know if I have a problem, but it's undrivable. He's boxing this lap as well, so Gasly's coming in.
Pierre, your wheel has fallen off. It is at corner 4.
Lap time, car 7. Lap time to need to track the limits as well. So Josh is on
I
it
bet
as well.
I bet that was at corner 4.
It was, yeah.
Everybody had that yesterday at corner 4.
There's something as well at the Longbata corner, the top of the hill. Cynthia says, yeah, but Guan Yu Zhou will replace Giovinazzi. Guan Yu Zhou currently doesn't have the super license points to do so, so that's why there's a delay there. So try and get my words out. Gasly's locked up at
Zhou's a good driver.
Yeah, he is.
Is from Sheffield, those?
Yeah, the Chinese driver speaks with a very strong Sheffield accent. It's unbelievable. Has Hamilton now out on the track, just passing Schumacher. Said that before, my time. Here. I did see it, don't worry, I saw it. Sorry, I'm so many things as well. Nothing's going on at the moment about anything, so we're just waiting. I don't think we'll hear until before the sprint race, now. I don't think we're going to hear what happens to Lewis Hamilton until the sprint race.
I don't care anymore.
No, I think we've gone beyond the point of caring. So basically, we're going to come to the 5 red lights for the sprint race.
There's one thing you can guarantee from this, right? It is the 2 top teams baiting each other.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of this, right? 2 races ago, Red Bull complained about the new system on the Mercedes that was giving them extra thrust down the straights. That got thrown out by the FIA.
Yep.
Okay, you'll have one
and
lap.
so
we want to have a
they've moved on to something else.
11 on that lap, 40% lift.
Last year or the year before, it was the fact that the steering wheel goes in and out.
The DAS system.
The DAS system. But that's Christian's job is to try and disrupt what his rival is doing, and it's Toto's job as well. Toto, and Christian, they have this love-hate relationship. To say they don't get on, like a lot of people say, is not true. I think they both admire each other, and I think they both
great respect between everybody.
Enjoy these little tussles, don't you?
No, actually, I haven't. Actually, Josh, you come through on the homepage on the section on the tweet deck. That's where I can see it as well. It just flashes up on the tweet deck home deck, but nothing at the moment from Mercedes.
Josh says that
the tyres are pretty good. You can lean on them more. It was
6.66.
Well, we've had lap times.
Well, that was it. It is a devil of a track.
Oh yeah. It's even shaped like a horn in one area of the circuit as well. The exit of turns 12, 13.
Do you know, when I was a kid, there was absolutely... This track was in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Now it's in the middle of a shanty town and big high-rise flats.
Yeah.
It's like the whole of the area has just expanded round it. And that's the problem with the track, because you can't change it. Because there's no room to change it.
It used to be so much bigger, this track, of course, with the old Interlagos, but then it got remodified so it could come back when Ayrton Senna started winning in 1990.
That's one of the reasons people love this track, is that it was Senna's track, but he didn't actually do that well here.
No, he only won 2 races. It was Alain Prost who did more.
Yeah.
Senna never did well at the Rio de Janeiro track.
It's one that I remember from when I was a kid quite a lot.
Because it was around in the 70s as well, before it moved over to Rio in 1981, I want to say.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
But this track as well. It's got it's the hottest Grand Prix, I think, or the second hottest Grand Prix on record, behind, I think, Bahrain. Because with those images, it's January. Formula One start the 1976 season. You know what?
Pilot.
What are you on about?
That's who sang January.
Oh, right, no. What about it's January in the first race of the year in Brazil. James Hunt's on pole position with Niki Lauda alongside in 1976, and they're having to hose the fans because it's that hot. So Hamilton goes up to P5.
James would have done it anyway. I would have done it anyway, dear boy.
Yeah, well, he sprayed the champagne later on.
Champagne.
What did he retire? I can't remember. Perez Radio.
Thinking about the start, let's have a look at the inside line of turn 1. Recommend resetting your bias offset to 0 and look at the inside line at turn 1.
Okay, and just final line on Daniel Ricciardo.
Sorry, I thought I was going to
Do you know who does the best in cartoon form?
Yes, on the tunes.
On the tunes.
Yeah.
That was
happened?
McLaren, wasn't it? Who did tunes?
This is the problem. If you can still hear us, our OBS has frozen. Right, we're back now.
Yeah, James's character in the tunes was actually voiced by his own son.
Yeah,
and who
Freddie
did it
Hunt.
really, really well, Freddie.
I think we're back on. Sorry if you probably still heard us, but you couldn't see us. Our OBS froze. That's what I'm on about with the systems glitching coming into sprint weekend. But we're back operational now. Yep, we are. Lovely. With 3 minutes to go of the session.
I've got one eye on this and one eye closed.
Yeah, error. Not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth stream.
Oh.
It's on there.
One more time. One more time. Happy to push this lap.
Yeah, go on then.
No news at the moment on Hamilton, on Verstappen. So, yeah, I could hear you. So, thanks to this. So, we couldn't see, but we could hear. So, that's an interesting one. So, even when our systems freeze, they could still hear us. That's great news. Somebody remind me about that so I don't swear if it ever goes wrong, like it did in Imola.
Whereas I'm watching BBC One.
This is controlled by a Virgin Media box that's about 30 seconds. No, well, for you, about 2 minutes away. Look at that tyre.
Then how come we watching Strictly Come Dancing?
Look at the tyre of Pierre Gasly. Look at that. The front right tyre, the front left as we watch on board. It's gone.
It's gone in the middle, hasn't it? Yeah.
Josh, you're watching it as well. What you've got the data tracker on with the tyres. What is that gap? How long has he been on those soft tyres? Either way, it's coming to the pits, but has he just done one set on them? If so, he's done 31 laps on those tyres. He's just been out there all session. He's done 31 laps.
Well, that might be a test as well. It might be one of the things. It's a nonsense session, this one.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't do anything for anyone. So it's a time when you can check these sort of things, like the longevity of a tyre.
So he's going back through. Gasly's just gone straight to the pit lane. So he's doing more. I think he just wanted to get out of the way of anybody doing fast laps because he's doing slow laps. Alonso then is going to end free practice 2, fastest overall. And I'm desperately just texting Megan to come down to the box. Just quickly talk.
Hello, everyone. That's me quickly talking. Do you know in Northern Ireland they speak like this? It's really, really fast. You know what I mean?
So, with 1 minute 8 to go, Bottas goes up into P3 on a 1:12.355. Ocon goes down to P4 at the moment. Apparently, we're off to a cocktail bar.
Struggle when I'm close to other cars, similar to Mexico. When we lose downforce, it's really tough.
Josh Pate.
Perez behind his box, and 2 more to go.
Josh is saying that it's been reported that he's on used 22-lap old softs.
Oh, wow.
So that is a long distance on those tyres around the circuit. It's an abrasive circuit. They're the C4 tyres here on this one, so they're getting quite close. I think Megan might be joining, but she'll have to hold the mic instead because your headset isn't actually connected yet. So she'll have to pick the mic up when she comes in. But 20 seconds after the session, Alonso will go top from Verstappen, Bottas, Alonso, Ocon, Hamilton, Perez, Giovinazzi, Sainz, Leclerc, and Raikkonen will take that as well. Well, I'll talk to you next week in Qatar. Hope you have a great one, Synthol. Sorry we couldn't get you on. The Wi-Fi is literally going to be kicked to death in about 10 minutes' time if it doesn't get worked. But hopefully we'll have everybody ahead. Ziggo Dome won't go ahead, by the way, because of the new COVID measures. Damn. So hopefully we'll grab you on in free practice in Qatar, because it's not a sprint weekend. Things might actually start working. Hopefully well as well. I've got to go soon because I'm on...
Yes, Synthel's in Holland, and they've just got a partial lockdown of things like sport and things like that, and nightclubs and things like that.
I think I've got another hour before I'm on Grid Network because Adam's just started on with the IMSA pre-show with Kobe. So I think I'm okay for a while yet, which is good because I need to eat before the sessions. So we're going through. End of the session. Megan has missed it as the checker flag is out. Bottas has taken the flag. No sign across this whole hour. This is interesting.
Okay, box.
I thought I was going to come. Here comes Raikkonen's radio. Took a while to come out there. So Alonso tops from Verstappen, Bottas, Ocon, Hamilton the top 5, Perez, Giovinazzi, Sainz, Leclerc, Raikkonen, and I'm just hearing that Fernando Alonso has sent a text message to me saying as well, please keep Megan out of the commentary box for all remaining sessions. I'm now top. It's just typical, isn't it? The one time Megan says that she can't be in the commentary box, Alonso tops the session. The one time. In fact, I'm not standing for this. I'm not standing for this. Oh, I can't wait. It's not going to work, is it? This is not going to work. I'll tell you what, though.
Break everything, Josh. Go on.
I'll just break everything. But I'm going to grab this. Can I grab this? Hello, sorry. It's under your headphones. There we go. Just electrocute you to death. Hang on. I'm not standing for this. I'm actually going to call Megan. And I'm going to
You're still standing.
Yeah? I'm going to have to do this. Look, look, listen, I'm going to put it on speaker. And where's the... There we go. So I've put the mic to it so she can hear me and I can hear her. But I've literally had to hold a microphone to the phone. As well. This reminded me of when we had to do this on Autosports. Megan, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You are live on YouTube. I just wanted to tell you who topped the session. Did you not see any of my text messages?
No, I've been doing law work.
Would you like to know who topped the session?
Yeah, hold on, give me a sec.
Oh, she's going to go. She's going to freak out anyway. Megan? Can you hear me? Because I can't hear you at the moment.
Yes, I can hear you.
Fernando Alonso.
What?
Ha, there you go. Yeah, come to the commentary box before we go off air to see it.
I'm not sure.
She's now dropped her phone and she's running away.
No, she's not.
No.
Anyway.
So there you go, look.
So that's the end of the session.
Yeah. So, yeah. Megan, the one time you miss it is the one time Fernando Alonso actually tops the session.
It doesn't matter. All that matters is he's top one.
Yes, well done. Fernando Alonso top by 0.8 of a second to Max Verstappen.
He's got longer hair than me.
All right. Thank you, Megan. See you later.
Bye-bye.
That's Megan now. I've literally had to just hold a microphone up because that wouldn't work. Oh, wait, where does this mic go? Let's shove it there. So here's the session results then. It's Fernando Alonso fastest. As I said to Megan, 0.8 of a second quicker than what we've seen with Max Verstappen. Throwing down the order with Bottas, Ocon, Hamilton the top 5, Perez, Giovinazzi, Sainz, Leclerc on the board as well. Then we get Raikkonen, the top 10, Stroll, Ricciardo, Norris, Gasly, Russell, Tsunoda, Vettel, Latifi, Schumacher and Mazepin on the board at the moment. I knew Megan's reaction would be a yes. Unbelievable. So, that's it. We've got another 2.5 hours. Actually, 3.5 hours. We're on air at 7:10 British time as well.
Truth of the matter is that I'm 15 minutes behind in there, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you've got to go. Anyway, we'll stay here we're about to go off air. So, not a bad run. What is going to happen? We're going to find out in the sprint. Join us later because no penalty has been given throughout all of the third practice session. And now we're going to have to wait and see. The sprint race for F1 2021. 3 points on offer for a race win as well. And the opportunity to start on pole position. That's coming up. The third and final sprint race. Dramatic once again. We'll see you later on. Bye for now.